much, ladies and gentlemen. Please follow the gentleman. Ladies and gentlemen, who is a social media genius? Let me introduce to the microphone, Mr. Raymond Pelekemoyo. No relationship at all, before you ask, with the previous Pelekemoyo here.
Well, I'm not sure. Can you guys hear me? Yes. Sorry, I don't like using mics. So I like. Do you need the mic? Yes. Really? Yes. Okay, I'll use the mic in a bit. So what I want to do, I want to get everybody into the mood of what's going to be happening. When I speak, I don't really like to pitch things. I like to teach people. Is that fair? Yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our right arms up. We're going to put the left one in the middle. We're going to flip the right one over. We're going to go across the body. We're going to go down. Then flip your left and interlock the fingers. Sorry, what's your name? Maidra, can you make sure that your right thumb is over like that, and together we should be able to do this? Do it again. So what I do, I'll use the mic now. So that lesson is a way that I like to teach people how to do this philosophy and this ethos called show and tell. Is Sean here? Sean, last time I spoke was what, 2016, 17? 18. It's been a while. That's about 5 years. So much has changed, and honestly, I'm honored to be invited back to speak to you guys again. And I've got a lot to share with you guys as well. Last time we spoke, and if I remember correctly, we spoke about the profound influence on social networks and their ability to imperatively co-create the social dynamics in Africa. Now, a lot has changed since then. My colleagues and I have built a community hub in Lusaka, on Jesmondine, just by the corner of the renowned University of Zambia. This is a space that incubates and encourages people, creatives, entrepreneurs, fashion designers, or even people in the street that sell tomatoes. We teach them the fundamentals of mathematics, we teach them the fundamentals of accounting, most importantly, how they can survive and become more sustainable, right? So, before I carry on, allow me to reintroduce myself because I feel like a lot of people don't know who I am. My name is Raymond Pelekemoyo. I might be related to Donald Pelekemoyo. We had a conversation about it. We said the name is very unique, so you might as well be related. I am also go by the name as Raymond St. Charles on Instagram, social media, for those that do know me. But most importantly, I am a recipient of the Business of the Year Award, Entrepreneur of the Year Award, and Enterprising Individual of the Year. Most importantly, I am a Zambian. I was born in Lusaka. I am the son of a tennis player who was then hired by Oxfam to integrate social networks and develop them in local communities and developing countries. We had the opportunity to travel to Zimbabwe. Harare, any Zimbabweans here? No? Half. Half. Then from Zimbabwe, I moved to Oxford, United Kingdom. Something about Oxford that really interests me is that it's very privileged with the education and the history and the culture around there. But something below the surface is that Oxford is very unequal. The inequality levels are very high in Oxford. You go around Oxford, shops are empty, homelessness is high. The rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. You probably see it in London, you probably see it in the communities that you guys are from, right? Cool. So what happened then is when we went to Africa and we went to Zambia, we started doing market research. We tuned in with the local community, we did some engagement, and we spoke to them. We did a feasibility report. And something that surprised me is that in Zambia, there was high levels of youth unemployment. But when we looked at the scope, and we put this against the framework, and we looked at exactly what was going on, the numbers were actually higher than what it was. If you look at the old people, if you look at middle-aged people as well, employment rates were high. So we understood the need and necessity to actually address this issue. So we built Ubuntu Hub. Ubuntu Hub then turned into Impact Hub, which became the 6th biggest hub in Africa. The importance of Ubuntu Hub and Impact Hub together was to support, incubate, and give people the opportunity to escape from their barriers, right? Since then, I've moved back to the UK, and I established Youth Innovation Hub in Brixton, which is in the biggest community space in the UK. You can go there, it's free if you've got startups, if you want to go in there, get funding, you can do so. Then I moved to Oxford, where now I work with regenerating high streets. I go into unused spaces, turn them into community spaces for people like me and you, right? Then, the most important thing about this talk, what I want to really get into all of this, is I also want to propose a subtle proposal, right? I want everybody to understand the importance of the words ownership. Everything that we live, everything that we touch, the ground, the spaces, the town centers, we actually own these spaces, right? We've been told differently, but we have ownership in these spaces. There's also a term that I really like, is stewardship. John, you said something really amazing at the beginning. You said something about the trees, right? Could you repeat that for me?
Yes, it's a Zambian word or proverb. Imiti kula empanga, to translate the trees that are growing are the forests of tomorrow. Thank you.
Wow, you said that nice. And there's this term called stewardship, that we should leave the earth in a better state than where we found it, right? When you partner this ethos with show and don't tell, you've got the best ingredients for what you call community wealth building. When we went to Zambia, the first mistake we did was we tried to teach people how to run a big business, when the average person wanted to know is, how do I sell a tomato? That important lesson in itself taught me and shifted my language around entrepreneurship. So what I want to do today is, when we go away from this, I'm going to tell you a very, very amazing story from a guy that I met in Zambia, a young boy. His name was Johnny Kalenga. When I met Johnny, I said, Johnny, what do you do? He goes, I build skateboards and I put plastic bottles as wheels. Johnny turned 300 planks into skateboards, and now he's got the biggest skateboard in Mongo. I said, Johnny, why do you do this? He said, because I want people to skate with. That necessity in finding community is what's important. So if we all go back today and embark on this journey together, and we understand the power is in with ourselves, and at the core of every ecosystem is people, then we can change the world. So if you feel like going on Impact Hub, searching it up, feel free. But most importantly, my name is Raymond. Thank you.